Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
How we doing out there, crypto friends? Apologize straight up for the poor quality microphone here, but I am traveling today. Last day on the road for a while, so things should be back to normal. So let's get started having a look here at Bitcoin, BTC USD. Looking for that bounce play as we are in the buy target, as we're starting to set up for the big bounce. So looking down at support at the 48,713.47, and first line of resistance climbing up is going to be right there on top of that 12-day moving average at the 50,336.99 for BTC USD. So we're just kind of cruising sideways here, wait for somebody to fire off the cannons, get this bounce going. So we may need to dip down, retest that support, get this RSI into the oversold, and off we go for BTC USD. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, we're down there at the 2153.94 for support, and gonna watch out for that pivot high up there as we try to get back above that 100-day moving average there at the 2180. Check that, 2284.69 will be your resistance for Ethereum, and we'll bring the stop losses up as we go just underneath these lows, just in case we need to retest some of that previous support. Let's have a look at BNB USD. Trying to hold support up there at the 479.57. Did not manage to get through this 100-day moving average, so watching that, we're just going to need some volume to come in and some more confidence come back into the space. Because folks find it difficult to buy when we're in the red, but that is when things are on sale. So we do have resistance up there to 524.68. We'll move on to ADA, ADA USD, Cardano. Cardano laying down some new support up here in the buy target zone at the 1.09, and first line of resistance we have it previously marked there at 1.15. We'll move on to DOT, PolkaDot. DOT managed to go up there, could not get above that 12-day moving average. So we're gonna go down there and regroup and have another go at it. So look for us to come back down here, test that support at the 2815.154. And then on the climb back through, we're just going to do Groundhog Day and try to get through that 31.645 resistance. And we're moving on to the Doge. So Doge is green for the day, up 7%. Doge in a little bit better shape than some of the other names here. We are on top of the 200-day moving average. You see that thick yellow line down there, so that's good for us. And we are on top of the 12-day moving average with a slight curl upward. The Doge managing to climb through here. So we have support now at the, we'll get those freshen up. There we are, right there on that 12-day moving average is the 0.2480. Resistance at the 0.2895 for the Doge. Let's have a look at LTC USD Litecoin. Litecoin sitting down at the 220.75 support. And just like the others, having some difficulty getting through these moving averages, which are above us at the moment. So look for us to start encountering resistance 239.65. Moving on to LINK USD Chainlink. Chainlink found support right there on that 31.401. And you see we got all the way up, encountered that 12-day moving average, which is descending upon us at a very high velocity. So keep that in mind. So right now the resistance level is 33.781 for Chainlink. We'll move on to VTHO. I noticed I just deleted Stellar, so let me put that one back there. That's accident. So, USD. We'll add Stellar back in there where it belongs. Give me 1 second here, folks. Get on up there. It goes right before Vechain. There we are. All right, we'll have a look here at Stellar. Try to escape. We nailed it. Okay, so coming back to support down here at the 0.412 and resistance on that 12-day moving average on this previous high right there at the 0.431. So tightening range on some of these names, so keep an eye out for that. And we'll adjust this target for tomorrow. Moving on to Vechain, VET/USD. Did manage to hold that support up there just beneath that 100-day moving average. So we're caught in between that 100-day and a 12-day. So support down there at the 0.1773, resistance 0.188 for Vechain. We'll look at Vethor, the Vechain token. Get those readjusted for you there. There we go. We have support now at the 0.0154, stop loss just beneath there, and resistance up on that, just kind of following, trailing along that 12-day moving average. 0.0179. Let's move on to FILUSD. Still maintaining support at the 130.96 and resistance 139.428, so relatively unchanged for FIL. We'll look at Storj, STORJ, had a go at it. Got all the way up to that 100-day moving average, rejected off of there. So we're going to regroup, find new support, and go at it again. Looking at support to hold at the 1.660. Get that stop loss underneath that previous low and that swing low. And then we're going to look for resistance on the climb back through to encounter right there at the 1.806. Look at IOTA, Internet of Things. IOTA 1.636 support and resistance at the 1.834 for IOTA. Ease that stop loss up underneath that low. There we go. Moving on to comp, COMP/USD. Comp, big run up attempt right there. Got it into the sales target, so we got out of that one. So we're back scouting this bad boy again. So look for support to hold out at the 543.390. And resistance going to be first encountered at the swing high up here to 596.139. I will mention that we do have the 12, the 26, and 100-day moving averages all lined up in that upward configuration or momentum towards the upside. So keep that in mind. This one's looking a little bit better shape than some of the other alts. We'll move on to BAT/USD. Basic attention coin. Resistance up there at that 26-day moving average 1.1860 and holding support. So far, so good, right on that 1.02. So look to hold that $1 psychological. If we lose that, then we're going to come down to the 0.90. So we'll put the stop just underneath there for BAT/USD. Moving on to ETC/USD, Ethereum Classic. Tightening range, so I'm keeping a close eye on this one. We're on top of the 100-day moving average, and we are getting the squeeze between the longer term moving averages and slower term. So we're going to watch that to bounce off this 100-day and rocket ship through. So looking at support to hold 27.10, and we can actually bring that up now. We'll bring that support up to 29.284, and then holding that resistance at 33.082. Bring the stop loss just underneath that 100-day moving average, just in case. We're moving on to NEM. XEM/USD is the ticker for NEM. And support for 0.262. Resistance just if we can get above that 12-day moving average. Gonna look for 0.3018, then we've got some wiggle room to run to the upside. Moving on to Mana, MANA USDC. Okay, folks, I do believe we are live again. We had a lights out situation here at the old Marriott. So we are back, I do believe. Checking everything real quickly. Yeah, looks like we're good. So where we left off was Mana, MANA USDC. Support at the 1.09 and resistance at the 1.179 as we start to flicker again. Moving on to ZIL, ZIL USD. ZIL doing its thing here, sideways action. So we're looking at 1.40 for support and 0.1608 resistance for ZIL. Moving on to NU USD. Numerair. I think it's this one. Is this Numerair? No, that's NMR. So sorry about that. NU USD. We have support holding at the, I think I got that off the 1 hour. We'll double check that for you really quick. There it was. So looking at support down at the 0.370 and resistance up at the, let me catch that off the 4 hour, switch back. There we are. Resistance is going to be right there at 0.407. And we'll move on to NMR USD. Support off that swing low at the 0.57, I should say 0.06, and then resistance is going to be, you can see here, right off that previous high at the 62.380. Let's look at the graph token, GRT USD. Appreciate you sticking with me, folks. Sorry about the technical difficulties. And let's get up there. Support at the 1.247, resistance at the 1.410. GRT USD. We'll have a look now at Uniswap, UNI USD. Lots of activity. Looks like we did trigger that stop loss, so we'll get that out of the way. And we're going to look for support to hold and try to get back in this one if we can come back down into this buy target. We're pretty close, so look at support to hold at the 30.00, right there on that $30 psychological. And we'll look for resistance on the climb back through at the 30.89. Moving on to AAVE USD. Pretty much the same thing as we had previously at the support level 311.67. Resistance up there at the 348.60. Kind of stuck in a sideways holding action here for consolidation. And we'll move on to MKR USD. Having a look here at MKR USD support down there at the 3598.288 and still have that resistance from the previous. But we're going to have to encounter getting back through this 26-day moving average. This particular name, just like one of the others we had earlier, the 12, the 26, and the 100-day, are in a good upward momentum configuration. So this one's looking a little bit stronger. We have that all-time high right there, almost at $5,000, sitting pretty up there waiting for MKR USD. Moving on into audio. Audio trying to get through that 26-day moving average, can't handle it at the moment. So looking down there, lots of support at the 1.521. Resistance there at the 1.78 for audio. We'll look on to CHZ USD. Banging around there on that 12-day moving average, can't get above it. So we're going to look for support down at the 0.381 and resistance at the 0.4380. For CHZ USD. Moving on to Theta, THETA USD. And there we are. We have it at 8.473 or support, and resistance up there at the 10.11 for Theta. Moving on to ENJ USD. ENJ USD support right there on the 1.98, so right at the $2 psychological, and resistance 2.258. Wrapping up here as we always do with Harmony One, ONE USD. You'll find some of these names on Binance. Coinbase doing their best to add some of these. So support down at the 0.0944, resistance at the let's do that one more try. 0.1075. There we go. And Bitcoin dominance, as I mentioned in the title card, we're starting to come back a little bit. So folks are starting to put their doll hairs into BTC. So up 1.16% up to right at the 52% mark. And total crypto market cap is $1.773 trillion, down right at 5% as we're starting to make headway with the volume coming back into the space. Well, folks, that does it for me. And I will see you tomorrow with the Crypto Money Show. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you soon.